well, when you're a real lawyer, maybe you'll dress better and wear less makeup. And I was like, baby, I am the real lawyer.
Today's guest knows the justice system from both sides of the courtroom. Caitlin Engstrand built her career as a public defender, and now she's in the civil litigation realm. Welcome, Caitlin.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here.
This is so cool.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Tell us about yourself. It's a big question.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I feel like I'm not the person I was a few months ago.
What does that mean?
Because when I left, public sector, but it's kind of more of a private. Now I'm more of like a public person. And went out with my husband, who is pretty established in personal injury. And now I have like a completely different life than I did a few months ago.
So let's unwrap that.
Yeah.
So you started your career as a public defender.
Yes.
And how long did you do that?
12 years.
So what made you go into that area? Because public defending, my sister started as a criminal lawyer as well, immigration criminal. And so it takes a very strong person to work.
Totally.
So tell us about it.
So Carl and I went to law school in DC and we did clinical programs, and we worked a lot with families who were affected by the AIDS crisis. And even 15 years ago, this was a huge problem. And so we started representing people in CPS cases there, and then post CPS cases, like guardianship cases. And so I fell in love with just like working with families. I just thought it was like amazing to see people change. I loved the kid aspect. I wasn't a mom then, but I just thought it was really compelling. So I got a job with the county doing representation for parents initially. And so that was really interesting.
When you say county, Maricopa County?
Yes, here in Maricopa County. Yeah.
So you went to law school in DC, but
yes.
You are a native Phoenician.
Yes.
And I read, is it 4 generations?
Yeah.
4 generations.
Yeah.
And so I'm a transplant from New York, and I can tell you, I don't meet a lot of native Phoenicians. I have in the last.
It's all Michigan people. They're taking over.
My husband's from Michigan. Yes. It's New York and Michigan.
It's all Michigan people. And you know what? I love all the Michigan people. They're always like the sweetest, nicest people. Like they'd invite you to every party. Like they're amazing, social.
But they have like this crazy like
go blue. And you're like, what's happening?
Or go white. But so it's like either Michigan or state.
Yeah,
right?
It's so true.
And my kids know that. They'll be like, go green, and they'll yell, go green, and someone else will go white. And that's something that my husband has instilled in them. So
that's so funny. I know. I'm like, I don't even understand. But yeah, it is really weird. I feel like either people were, who've been here forever, they moved with their spouse, or, they were an army brat, so they came here. But yeah, we loved DC, but I just said, I want to come home. I want to be near my family.
Now, Carl is your husband?
Yes.
And you met him while in law school, or did you go with him to law school?
We met at U of A. So we have been together a long time now, about 20 years almost. Okay. So yeah, we met in college, and then we went to law school together and moved to DC. And so we studied together. We shared books. Like we loved it. It was like, people always ask about your law school experience, and yeah, it was really hard, but it was like we got engaged, we had the best time, and then we got married while we were in law school. So it was just like such an exciting time.
Oh, that's such a nice story. That's a good experience.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I have to say, I don't know if I could have handled like a significant other during law school. I was just stressed out.
Yeah, but like they're going through it with you. So it's like,
true. Yeah.
And it was just like, we'd both always wanted to go. So it was like, wow, this is like, it was a unique experience. Like, nice. But it was really cool.
And so then you came back, and then you got a job at the public defender's office. Yes. And you stayed there for 15 years?
12 years. So basically, I was part of the public advocate's office. So that was primarily doing family advocacy work. And then I did that for a couple of years. And then I moved into juvenile public defender work. So I was doing criminal defense, but it was for children. And then I was also representing them in the Department of Child Safety cases as well. Those are what we call dual wards. So if they had a charge, but they were also a ward or became a ward during the time that the criminal case was pending.
And for those who don't know what a ward is, what does that mean?
So a ward would be a child that has been found dependent by the juvenile court, meaning that there's going to be some type of temporary custody removal from either their guardian or their parents.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
And so you handled cases where these kids were wards, and then they
Yes.
were also had some type of like criminal charge against
Yes.
them.
Yes.
And now the charges that you dealt with, were they usually like in a certain type of charge, or did they span?
It could be anything. I mean, we handle children as young as 8. So in the state of
Young as
Arizona,
8?
yes. So
Oh,
in the
wow.
state of Arizona, you can be charged with a crime as young as 8. And so that's why
What kind of crime?
literally you could be charged with anything at the age of 8. So typically kids of that age are typically charged with like more serious offenses just because that's why they're filing. But even simple assault, there's some type of crime that happens on a playground, like your child can be charged. So that's like why on my social media, I talk a lot about talking to your kids about this very early so that they understand what their rights are very young. Because yeah, in the state of Arizona, we can still do that. But I handled low-level misdemeanor cases up to murder, sexual abuse, child molestation. Everything, armed robbery. A lot of those cases, depending on the age of the child, can still be filed in juvenile court. But we also did a lot of preparation for the transfer process to adult court. So,
And that would be dependent on the crime that they were charged. And more serious charges tend to be and the age of the child, right?
Correct. And depending on, if they had any priors and stuff like that. And then it would also depend on, if the court decides to use that discretionary transfer and things like that. So a lot of times we were trying to fight to keep them in juvenile court. So
is there one case that you can think of as you sit here that really resonated with you, where you thought you made a difference in that child's life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of girls who get swept up in the system for various reasons, typically a boyfriend or their home life. And so that's kind of what led me to doing what I was doing, because a lot of the girls that kept coming in the system, they had been trafficked. And so I worked with a lot of girls and trying to get them help and assistance and, quite frankly, safety. But yeah, I mean, I've done murder cases where kids just are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Things get out of control. I had an armed robbery case in the middle of trial. I thought there was a misidentification issue. They had ID'd my client through what he was wearing. But the kid that was robbed, because it's a lot of child on child crimes that happen, said that my client was like 6'5", and my kid was like, maybe on his best day was 5'4". I mean, he was a shrimp. And I was just like, that's interesting. And so then his brother walks in, who's 6'5", wearing the same things. Because, sometimes as moms, we go to Costco and we get the same things for the kids. And I'm looking at this and I look at the state and they're like, we're going to dismiss the charges. That was like a crazy moment in court.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this kid's innocent. He's maintaining his innocent. I have an alibi. They're like, they've ID'd him. I'm like, yeah, they look really the same. They're brothers. He's about a foot smaller than it needed to be. And then the kid walks in and I go, his brother walks in and I was like, well, this is interesting. So there's crazy moments that happen like that.
What happened? Well, I have to ask, what happened with the brother? Was he later charged?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because once you've got a miss ID, then you've got a miss ID. They spent all this time and resources. So in juvenile court, I would be preparing for a trial in a 45-day period. If you are charged with an offense as a child in juvenile court and you are in custody, which is at the juvenile detention center, we're going to trial in 45 days. It's very rare to waive that right for a child, even if it means, maybe we're potentially working on other things, but unless they're released. Mm-hmm. And so basically it's, figuring out, I have got to, put on the best defense that I can in 45 days. And so that's kind of what essentially happens is all these surprises come up because you have a 6-week period to prepare.
And so now that you're doing civil litigation,
yeah,
and when you get your final trial setting conference, and then they give you your deadlines, and it's like 90 days out,
and I'm like, this is
2 years of discovery, right?
Yeah. Usually it's like I'm getting the police report the day I come to court. I'm used to all of this. So yeah, I told Carl one day, I'm like, what? I was like, it's such a different pace. But because I have all that prior experience, it's like, I know exactly where I need to go to get records. I know exactly who I need to call. I know exactly the investigator that would be perfect for this. And so it's different. But, when you're doing the civil cases that we're doing, you still need to get the notice of claim done in 6 months. And that can be nearly impossible if you have no records. They're hiding behind, federal laws. You're dealing with, a lot of people who are not like, You're not dealing with, you're dealing with a lot of people who are just like not in the office. Like everyone's short staffed. You're like calling and calling. So it's like, it's still kind of the same, but yeah, it's a little bit different. So.
And I know you do a lot. I know that currently in your field, you're doing a lot of governmental entity work.
Yeah.
And so, so the notice of claim comes up.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is
I
definitely.
know, and you do really good TikToks trying to explain to people the 6 months. And even though you explain it like 100 times, they still don't get it.
And even a lot of
lawyers,
don't, they don't get it.
I got a call about a case from 4 years ago, and I was like, "What do you want me to do with this?" Like,
I know.
So it's crazy.
It is definitely one of like the pitfalls. Like if there's ever someone, and then even what's the entity that I didn't realize when I first started. Someone happened to mention, was it SRP, but that they also have a notice of claim statute.
Yeah.
Most people, attorneys don't know this. And I'm like, you need to know this. You need to find out.
Yeah. We got a call about an SRP case, a fire that was caused by them, but it was 7 months.
Oh.
And it sucks because it's just like, it shouldn't be this way at all. You know, but it is.
How would you correct that? I don't even know if you can, except just having awareness, right?
I don't think so. I think, the
awareness
public
and experience.
It's like, as soon as something doesn't seem right, you need to call a lawyer. Because if you call me, I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm going to be like, there's nothing here. It happened a couple of weeks ago. Here's the deadline. Put something on your calendar. Re-follow up with me if there's any developments. But yeah, I mean, I think like, if you know something's wrong in your gut, like call a lawyer just to be sure.
So then after 12 years of, working in that field, what made you say, okay, I'm going to make a switch?
I just feel like, probably about a year ago, I started feeling, I'm like, everything is changing. Stare decisis doesn't apply. Old rules don't apply. Nothing is the same as it was a couple of years ago. And I just like told Carl, I was like, I love working with the kids, because Carl had talked about, me coming out with him. And I was like, I don't really want to do car accidents. I love working with the kids. I love working with families. And he's like, I feel like you can find like what you want to do. And I just feel like everything was just changing. And I was like, I just feel like there's more that I can do than help on this one issue. Because your kid had a shoplift. Okay. But there's like 8 other problems that happened before that instance. And so it's just like, there's so much going on. I was really involved with like following the Epstein files crisis and working with families. And I just feel like there was just so much more that I could do. And there's not a lot of attorneys doing what I do.
So tell us tell us how you would classify what you do. Because I know it's kind of it's a niche area.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I always take the case based on the client and not the type of case. Like, I am representing a girl who was sex trafficked and charged as an adult in the system because, that I felt like that was the right thing to do. So I'm doing criminal defense work, but I'm mostly building a civil practice around women and children and correcting wrongs. So that could mean correcting wrongs within, police brutality or excessive force. It could mean supporting them as their victim attorney in court to go up against their abuser. So it's pretty broad. And I'm also representing a lot of kids who were sexually abused by teachers, hospital staff, religious organizations, things like that. So it's really about like that. I think it's really more about, there's a lot of people that will represent men in this town. There's lots of like domestic violence defender places and stuff like that. But there's really not anyone who's just like primarily representing this type of group. And I really like it.
And it's heavy work. I mean, that is.
Yes.
I know with the limited, because I've had sex assault cases that I've done and in different types of cases. I have realized, because I'm a mom of a 10-year-old girl, that it really affects what she's allowed to do. Like I get because now she's 10 and she has her voice, because I tell her, hey, use your voice. That's great. But now that voice is used against me when she's telling me how I'm wrong, right? Yeah. And why I should reconsider. This is how she says, she's like really mature. And she's like, Mom, I think you should reconsider your decision.
Well, and I find that with, kids of lawyers, that's very true. Yeah.
Her main thing is sleepovers. She wants sleepovers. And I'm like, no sleepovers.
Carl and I are very vocal on social media. We do not allow sleepovers. That means you don't sleep over at our house. Our kids don't go there. We don't do bounce houses. We don't do piñatas. there's a lot.
To piñatas.
If you're having a party,
Okay,
and you have supplied the piñata and the bat, and somebody's kid gets blinded at your house.
I never thought
So
about
I'm about
this
to make you more paranoid. Those like taco things, the hibachi stations at your house.
Fire.
Well, no, the kid's going to fall on the stove.
Yeah.
I have seen burns from kids at parties. You just never know.
Bounce houses too. I actually had a bounce house case, which turned into a products case. And they're just awful.
And, my kids always say, like, we never get piñatas. And I'm like,
what about the ones with the string? Because you can have the string ones. They're not as much fun.
That's true.
They're not as much fun, but the strings also count, and those are safe.
That is true. I would just not give weapons at a party, potentially, because there's always accident. Somebody falls in the pool, There's always a lifeguard. I would recommend that for any family.
I have a girlfriend. Yeah. Every time she has a party, she has a lifeguard, just in case.
2 lifeguards. I mean, I'm like, there's nothing much more. So yeah, I feel like our poor girls are probably like, we never get to do anything fun. But
that's what I get all the time.
I mean, I feel like you can never be too careful with your safety of your kids. And
the studies support it too. And I mean, I haven't busted out the studies for Eva yet, but I mean, I will in a couple of years. But I'm like, hey, listen, studies show that if you are at a sleepover, it's more likely to be affected by some type of sexual abuse, either by the parents of the house or by one of the family members that are in that house. And it's astounding, right? These things that happen.
Right.
So
I always tell parents that they only need very little time and opportunity to victimize your child. And maybe not even happen that night, but maybe like your kid goes to get a glass of water. Oh, I heard you crying earlier. What was going on? That's the grooming process. So not even just that, they could meet somebody that could potentially place them in danger. And not just meeting, we also do, video game cases, and the amount of access that the devices in your home get to your kids, that's also a problem. So it's not just that, it's like, who are they talking to?
Absolutely. So that's another thing that's big in my house, because I am familiar with the video game cases and in particular Roblox and the dangers of Roblox and disabling chats and the things that can happen. And I mean, so I negotiated with Eva. She can only use certain games, right? So she was like, my friends are on it, but she can only talk to her friends. And then my son was like, who's 7. He's just like, nope, if it's bad, he completely disabled it. So he doesn't have it on there. But
we quit YouTube a couple years ago. I mean, if you start paying attention more, people are using AI and I know you have an AI case, but I mean, you have to be very careful with the access. And if they're at somebody else's house and you don't know if they have firearms in the house, if they're locked up, if they're using alcohol, if they're doing drugs, I mean, how many people have you seen over the years that you're like, I had no idea that they were struggling? And so you just got to be careful.
Yeah, you're just lifting my my anxiety.
I'm so sorry, but it's just real, because I try to tell parents, I'm like, these playbooks that these guys have are like written in stone about how they get access to your kid, and you have no idea. You can't be with your kid 24/7, but you can at least say, I'm going to reduce the risk somewhat, and talking to your kids about it.
And I'm sure Carl goes through this as well, because depending on the cases he does, I know, like I was just telling a friend yesterday, if I can avoid driving down like certain highways, because the trucking cases, and I know
absolutely it's the same thing.
And it's like, I just want to not be next to a truck driver.
It's
in
so
case
true.
A wheel falls off of it, in case they've been tired.
You get final destination real quick. I mean, it's so true.
It's so bad. It's just like this. Like your mind is wired, like my mind is wired not to think about.
There's certain intersections in town that Carl's like, oh yeah.
Yep.
I know exactly where that is. Mm-hmm. I know where that tree is. I know that sign's always been a problem. It's so true. It's like, you can't,
And then getting through government immunity is a bitch, but
I know. Absolutely. Absolutely. So hopefully it's not to like cause anxiety, but it's like the more education you have, I think the more powerful you have. And then talking to your kids about, these are the tactics groomers use.
Yeah.
This is how they may make you feel scared that you can't come to me. This is, the proper names for body parts. All that stuff can reduce those types of situations from happening. So.
No, I agree with that. I see that being aware and informed is like the way to do it, even though it's uncomfortable, right? So I grew up in a completely different household where my parents didn't talk about anything.
Exactly.
I think I believed in Santa Claus and had my first boyfriend in the same year.
It's so true.
I was like,
and that's the kind of life that I think our kids deserve. I think our kids deserve to have the 90s life, not like they're watched all the time 24/7. There's so much more pressure. So I'm like, whatever I can do within my home to reduce that anxiety, then for them, it's good. I think it's a good thing.
That was coming up with social media is the effects it has on young women's appearance. And, and that is crazy. There was I was watching the news 2 days ago. I usually watch the news when I get up in the morning and get dressed, and I listen to it. And they were having the like an email. There was like an email chain that came through with some of the higher ups at a social media. Yeah. And they were saying, as a parent of a girl, I don't think that this is, this can have a harmful effect and blah, blah, blah. And they just completely ignored it. So they knew. So they knew this and then they still do it. And so I see that a lot.
Corporations are not your friend.
That's right.
Web people are not your friend. You are your child's only friend, as far as I'm concerned. You have to I get it all the time. I mean, I'm sure you get it on TikTok. I mean, people write nasty things. They send, and I'm like, could you imagine your daughter opening this up and being like, why don't you go to the gym, piggy? Could you imagine, why would you subject her to that?
So I heard someone, so I'm new to TikTok, right? So
it's so good though. I love everything.
I am new to it. I have, I really am appreciative of the people who are running like my TikTok.
Yeah.
So I don't really look at all of the messages see the messages. Yeah. So I don't know if there's negative ones because I think it'll crush me, right? Because I can't.
You got to have a thick skin to be on TikTok, honey, because I get into it with them.
Do you?
Oh, all the time. They'll write something like, you didn't bring this up. And I'm like, thanks, Dan. That's all I say. Just a simple thank you so much, Dan, for that insight. Without that, I don't know how I would go about my day. Thank you so much. Somebody had said something about, well, when you're a real lawyer, maybe you'll dress better and wear less makeup. And I was like, baby, I am the real lawyer.
So they do that. So I haven't looked. I'm going to look.
Especially with the Epstein, like when I would talk about the Epstein files. And listen, I'm an equal opportunist in terms of where you stand politically. And someone was coming after me about the Clintons, and I was just shocked at the vitriol hatred. But I was just like, listen, I live in the light and my peace. So it's just whatever. But yeah, I get into it. You have to have a thick skin for sure.
And I think I'm going to venture out after this and just check or ask.
I haven't seen any bad comments. I think everyone's like, yeah, that's a really good information.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth looking. So I just haven't looked.
I'm sure the DMs are interesting too, because I get some interesting DMs.
What's the most interesting DM you got?
I always get DMs like, can you be my sugar baby? I don't know if those are real, but no, I get weird DMs, but people will DM like case stuff to you. Like they'll be like, can you represent me on my like murder case pro bono? And I have to be like, no, that's okay. But yeah, 99% of it is so positive.
So one of the hardest things that I had, because I didn't realize that you were like so into it. I try not to look at it. One, I don't like seeing myself.
You always look good.
I'm like new to seeing myself in front of a camera. And then reading those types of things would hurt my feelings, right? But I'm sure that it's going to happen, so I have to. But one of the most awkward things that I have to say, it's like, leave me a message or DM me. It took me so long. Like I still can't say it now as I'm telling it to you. I'm like,
it's so funny.
I just am like, they're like, oh, well, someone and go and then people will slide into your DMs. I'm like, I don't feel like
I invited them to do that.
No, I was like, I haven't had that happen until recently. Someone just did. And I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's what it's like.
That's so cool.
I was like, oh, I don't know how to handle. I'm like, thank you.
I think it's really good because you come off so approachable and authentic, which I think that in the world we live, that's really all we want. is we want to know who our lawyer is and like what they come off. Like I've gotten cases from TikTok. Women will DM me. They'll say, I heard you were talking about this. Like, I'd love for you to represent me. And it's just like so authentic. It's like, yeah, give me a call Monday. Like, no problem.
So you do your own TikTok. That's what
yeah.
I'm. Okay, so because you are on TikTok, I know
we're balling on a budget over here. So yeah, no, I do everything. Carl, I even have him doing his own because I was doing it before, and I was like, you know what, I can't handle my accounts and your accounts. So yeah.
So you respond to everyone, and you.
Oh yeah, it is me. Yeah, I like put the tripod up. I like do everything. I like figure out what I'm going to talk about. People will send me stuff in and I'll respond. So yeah, it's all us. You email me.
I have to up my game. I am.
I mean, it's just like, I've been doing it for a long time. So like, I'm used to it. Like it's fun.
I still am not comfortable yet.
So good because like you can literally just talk about whatever you want. And it's really interesting because then your people who care about what you're talking about will find you. It's like, yeah, for all like the 5 hate comments you'll get, the people that want, who are like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about.
So what do you like talking about? Like, what's your,
I love talking about Phoenix issues, Arizona stuff. Like I do a lot of like, I follow the news regularly so that I can see like what's going on in our community. I love to give people like advice. I'm like, hey, I know you saw that this teacher was arrested. Here is like what I can say for you moving forward as a parent, like how to protect your child and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of like local stuff, but I do talk about, I've been really following the Epstein, files and things like that. But yeah, a lot of like more like local stuff. So yeah.
Okay. And so then I am so impressed that you are so committed. I love it.
It's fun. Yeah. I mean, it's
so I wouldn't classify it as fun, right? Just because I know how nervous I get about it, but I guess it will be fun eventually. How many years have you been on TikTok?
I mean, I think it's been a few years. I mean, before I left the county, I was just like doing like fashion videos and stuff like that.
You were?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I can see that. But
yeah.
So so now let's just
it would just be like, here's what I'm wearing today for court. It wasn't like anything. I mean, I still kind of do those.
What's it called? Outfit of the day?
Yeah,
like
but
OOTD.
Yeah, the OOTD. Yeah, exactly. But now it's like less fashion. But I mean, I do still like post stuff.
But you love fashion. I know that.
I think it's like, especially when, you're out there and you're advertising yourself, it's got to be something that you like think about.
Like you walked in the door today and I'm like, oh, she came.
My kids helped me pick out the outfit, but it's like hard.
You made me change my outfit. Like
I thought you looked great. I thought you looked beautiful.
But I was in all black because I'm always scared. I'm like, oh, well, lucky.
We would have been like, but we could have done the Wicked thing because my kids were like,
we're doing the Wicked thing right now.
It's very Glinda. My kids were like, it's giving Glinda, Mom. We approve. So
you're Glinda, and what's the other one? Alphaba.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Look, we didn't even plan this. It just happened. It's like that's how things happen.
Power. Yeah. That's the power of the OOTD. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I like it. I mean, especially in personal injury. I mean, like these ladies bring it. Like everybody's always dressed up. Everyone's always looking like camera ready. So it's like, you gotta be good. But
I am not always camera. Like my favorite thing to do is be in my office in like baggy pants.
That's
sneakers,
Carl. Yeah.
Sneakers and like and like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt.
Totally.
And then my hair pulled back and then just no makeup. Right.
Yeah.
So I actually have like a emergency makeup kit in my office.
You're like, the court wants me on mascara stuff.
Otherwise, I'll try not to wear makeup. I'm like,
I love that.
So, but yes, the ladies of PI definitely bring it. Always.
So yeah.
Always.
So it's like, and it'll be for like a lunch. Like we could be going to Cheesecake Factory. We all look like we could do a photo shoot, and then we end up doing one. So I'm like, I gotta make this work, Oh. So. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not there yet. I'm like, I'll still show up.
Keep that.
So here's a funny side note. There was like a party, a PJ party, right? And it was like, and so it was like,
these ladies. I love these new PJ parties. Right. Party pajamas are where it's. I was gonna wear party pajamas today, and then my girls were like, "No, wear the Glinda." So yeah.
But all the girls had to dress up in pajamas, and I was like, okay, great. So I went out and bought a pajama. I'm not kidding you. These girls they all looked amazing. They all had like these pink silky pajamas.
Feathers.
I showed up in a lumberjack pajama. Like mine was like a onesie lumberjack.
Because it was for Christmas. So you were like, I'm giving like, lumberjack elf out here. And you guys are giving like Christmas vixen.
It's just me, right? I'm like, it's just,
that's
whatever.
So cute.
But yeah, I mean, that was just there. And I was like, man, I'm like, I did not get this memo.
That's so cute. That's awesome though.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about where you
Enough about the party pajamas. We
don't
don't
care party pajamas. Galinda and Alpha by now. Yes. I can't get over this now that we did this. I wish Sophia was here. She left. She's taking a nap. No, she's not. She's answering emails.
That's okay. Sometimes a midday nap will help. So
who picked out your unicorn earrings?
I picked these out. These are like nice. Lisa Frank.
I like them.
Lisa Sadogi. So I love
Lisa. So one of my girlfriends, Lisa Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my girlfriends is really big into Lisa Frank. Yeah.
You can get a lot on the TikTok shop right now. So just if you want to go shop there, you can get her some stuff. They have all the like hair accessories right now. Yeah. It's
You'll have to show me because I don't even know where that is. Like when I tell you,
what are you doing over here? You're not showing her where the TikTok shop is. Don't even get on it. Every day something's coming. But honestly, my friend said she got furniture on the TikTok shop. And I was like, wait a minute. They're not giving me that. They're giving me like kids stuff. I bought Valentine's for the kids on there. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. But
so that's good to know. No, so Sophia, who's not here, she had to teach me. I'm like, she sat down next to me. I was like, okay, I'll go, how do I use this TikTok thing? Right. Cause it's like, how do you search for things? How do you like,
I had to do that for Carl too.
I'm like, okay, show me, how do you see someone's profile? And that's what I don't like. Cause people like, can see when you look at their profile and all that. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, so I usually
nobody cares. So nobody cares when you're looking at their like. I wouldn't be like.
So I never do. I just kind of stay away from them. I'm like, oh,
no, look at their profile because you want to engage with them. You could just be like, hey, I saw your profile. I really like the profile pic. That's like.
So I'm learning that I'm doing this whole TikTok thing wrong. I have to like. Yeah, pivot.
It's very different than Instagram. I mean, Instagram is curated and celebs and. TikTok is like, you could see anything. I mean, Carl just watches like dog and cat videos all day.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because it'll based on like what you like. So they send him like funny cat videos, funny baby videos, like whatever you're into. And mine is just like fashion, law stuff. So it's like they find you. And then they'll be like, you should go to this restaurant. I'm like, that was a great suggestion. So you can actually do
You can find restaurants off of TikTok too?
Yes. Oh. You can find anything.
So you can
be like, what is wrong with me? And then it'll.
So I know. You have plans to go get coffee with Carl after this, but you have to show me first. Before you leave, you have to show me. Okay. It's a date in like 20 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You can watch real news on there now. I was watching like Pat Bondi lose her shit on there. They have live TV. And if you don't have live TV anymore, I was just like, I can watch NBC News or Fox or whatever. And
that was bad. I saw that too. That was really bad.
I mean, I posted about it on Instagram. I said, that's what I'm saying is like when a year ago when I left, I was like, things are just different. Like the world has changed. And I'm like, I gotta move on.
So it's been now a year. A little bit over the year? It's been a little bit over.
I've only left in July. So I made the decision about a year ago, like I need to figure out my next step. I was like, I don't know what I do. Maybe I'll go somewhere else within the county. Maybe I'll do adult representation. But yeah, it kind of just all fell into place.
Are you loving it? Or are you still in it? Okay, because it's like there's a freedom, right?
Yes.
When you go out on your own, which is like a scary freedom, I think.
Yeah.
But it's you, like your decisions, your like wins, your mistakes. It's like you have to own all of it.
Yeah. And I feel like when you're a mom, that's so important for you to have and have that flexibility. But I mean, it was an amazing experience being a PD. I wouldn't change it. I was a line attorney. I supervised cases. I did every single type of charge you could think of. I mean, I learned, I could think on my feet, done amazing work. I did appeals. I did everything, but it was just cool. And if I couldn't have this job without that because I just know so much more. And I know how to talk to my clients who are kids, which if you've really never represented a lot of kids, it's just very different type of practice. So it's just cool, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of
that's why I got to stay on TikTok, because then I can find out stuff. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, what are we listening to? So then I can like know. And then my clients find me on TikTok. My old clients are like, thank you for everything you did for me. And I'm like, okay, I'm where I need to be.
Okay.
So yeah,
So then you're doing it right. I need to get it right. I need to get it.
You need to make it more personalized to you.
Okay.
Like have Nick curate all your stuff and like give you suggestions. But I think you need to be on there like finding your people, you know? Because then they'll be like, oh, I like this girl. She followed me. Like it would probably be good if they saw you
interacting.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give myself
not like a ton. You don't have to like do it for like an hour a day, but maybe just like,
I don't know if I could do a ton. You know, I just feel like there's so many different things that we do, because you have 2 kiddos too, right?
I know.
And so when you're, they require so much time.
Totally.
And their school wants you present. And I'm like, what? I have to work at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what? I have a hearing at 10 o'clock. Like, so my daughter today has like a swim,
I know. I couldn't come today either. Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay. I know the Valentine party. I was like, you know what? I mean, and that's the hard thing. It's like, sometimes you have to say no. I mean,
I know. That's something that I'm learning. So I know that. So besides what you're doing now and starting your on the TikTok and kind of finding your way in the private practice, where do you see yourself or your goals as you look in the next year? And then 3 years?
I mean, I definitely want to help as many people as we can, not only on, you know, high dollar amount cases, but we've been doing so much pro bono work. I did over 600 hours since I left the county. And so we're really trying to give back. And I just really want to be able to do more of what we're doing, is help as many women and kids as possible and just keep going and seeing, you know, how we could be. I mean, Carl and I, we're not like looking to like be the biggest PI firm and anything like that. That's like really not a goal. I mean, we want to take the cases that we really believe in and the families really believe in, because I don't want to get overextended. These cases are very, very sensitive. They take a lot of time. My families have my personal cell phone number. Like they can reach me anytime, because things can change on a dime when you're representing kids. And I just want to make sure I understand what's going on. So I think I just want to keep doing what we're doing and just being with my husband and my kids and just helping, doing as much as we can. So,
I love that. And letting them pick out your outfits. And...
Yeah. And doing all of that and just like being present, you know, there's so much chaos in the world. I just want to be present and do the best I can. And so, hopefully get some big checks with my clients. But other than that, I'm like, that's really it. It's just redefining that success and the justice, you know.
I find your energy refreshing. Like,
I mean, it just is what I am. I am.
You're like the Galinda to my Alphabet.
Yes. She's like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm like, let's do something. Like, let's go on TikTok. Nick,
I'm not on TikTok.
No, we should do something, me and her. Like we could do like find us a sound to do, and we could do it and you could post it.
No.
Yes. We could do a Glinda.
I'm already getting embarrassed. I'm like, oh. You have to understand.
You gotta be embarrassing.
I'm like one of the most shy people you'll
Carl
ever
too.
meet. I'm like so shy. It's like when is it like an extroverted introvert?
Yes.
Right? Where I have to like, I do a lot of events and stuff like that. But it takes me, you have
to build up for like 3 weeks. Like I have to go to this thing in 3 weeks. I have to be on it for 3 hours.
I'm not kidding you when I tell you we were at an event yesterday and I had to give a speech and then people were wanting to take photos with me and all this other stuff. And it was great. I loved it because that's the whole point of it, right? We were there, whatever. But I literally took a moment, walked to this girl, Avery, who was sitting, and Alex, who was sitting next to her, and I like knelt down and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go downstairs for a minute.
That's like one of my girls. She'll be like, I'm gonna go upstairs and like listen to music for a bit.
That's exactly what I did. So I go, I'll be right back. And so I went downstairs. We had gotten a little room to like get ready and stuff.
Yes.
And so I sat there in the quiet for like 4 or 5 minutes. And then I went back up. People were like, where'd you go? I just disappeared because it was like so much for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a lot.
You just got to be cringe. Like I tell that to Carl, like we do, because we'll like do funny TikToks together. And I'm like, just go with it. Like just be cringe, you know, be yourself, be cringe. Because if not, then, you know, you're like, whatever. I'll be like, what's up with her? So yeah. That's cool.
We are getting to the final lightning round.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay.
You ready for it?
I'm always ready. Okay. Let's go.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So one skill every trial lawyer must master.
Oh my gosh. One skill every trial lawyer must master. Just ignoring your opposing counsel. I mean, I've been in trials. I've had paper thrown at me. How dare she say that? Just ignore them. Do not respond. It's so, and I'm dealing with it on a case that I have right now where you're just like, I want to respond to every single thing and I want to defend myself and my client. Just ignore it because that's what they want.
It's a good one. That's hard to do, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
Criminal defense lawyers are better at blank than civil lawyers.
Investigative work.
Okay. One word that defines you.
Crazy. Just kidding.
You know, I always say don't call
good crazy.
I always say eccentric.
Yes.
Eccentric, because eccentric is an appropriate word for crazy.
Yes.
Right.
I'm blunt. You know, I'm going to tell it like it is. Yeah. So
in one sentence, what is justice?
Somebody saying, I believe you.
What drains you faster, chaos or monotony?
Monotony.
Quality that you admire but don't naturally possess.
OCD. I wish I was more OCD than I am. Yeah.
What's one trait you hope your children inherit from you?
I just want them to never let anyone dim them down or put them in a box. Like our girls, when you have a girl and you have a boy and a girl, so you probably know the difference. It's like people always assume boys are born great, which they are great because you know what? Every child is born great. But I feel like sometimes girls have to like prove they're great. And then once they do, they go, oh, it was just because that person didn't show up and this. And it's like, no, you're great because you're fucking amazing. And so that's what I told my girls is never let anyone say like, you know, you should dim it down or do something else.
I told Eva that yesterday when she gave me that whole thing. I was over the phone and I go, Eva, don't let anyone ever dim your shine.
Yeah.
And she's like, what does that mean?
If you're the best swimmer on the team, be the best fucking swimmer on the team.
Own it. And if you're
don't say, oh, it's because of whatever. It's like, no, you were the best.
So,
that's it.
I said it. Yeah. I have that conversation with her because she tends to do that. And I'm like,
yeah,
girl.
that's because that's what the world does to women is like, boys are just like walking out of the womb. Like, I can do this. I can be a basketball star. I could be on the Dallas Cowboys. I can be a famous actor. I'm gonna be on 28 billboards in Phoenix. That's how they all are. And then girls are like, I don't know. Do you think it's cheesy if I'm on a billboard? Do you think that's that? Do I really want to win this case? What do you think about this? Any man would have taken that case and said, this is the best case ever, and I'm gonna win. And so you should feel if we all acted like men, we would be very different. So yeah.
I can't argue with you there because I agree with everything you said. Because it is a difference between men and women where men tend to be just always thinking that they're amazing.
And that's the opposing counsel that you need to fucking ignore at court. Don't even listen to them. That's how they're going to be. You're just going to be like, all right, well, we did submit our exhibits, judge, and they're in the portal. So I don't know why he didn't get those. That's like always the first fight, right? The trial is like, where are these exhibits at? I'm like, where they were supposed to go? Like, 20 days in advance. Did you read them in an entry? No. Okay. Well, there you go. Now you got to yell at me about it. So
you're welcome.
Who cares about those minute entries and those court deadlines? Men don't.
Some deadlines. Yeah. All right. If you weren't a lawyer, what would you be?
Oh my God.
Last question. Make it a good one.
I did maybe like a psychologist. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I would have pegged something in like fashion or design or something.
Listen, don't make your hobby your full-time job.
That's a good one.
Have many things, do many things. Because if you had to do it like as a job, it probably wouldn't be as fun. You know, it would be like way too meticulous. So, you know what I mean?
Good point. Good sound advice. This whole
have your daytime job to pay for your hobbies. Okay, girls, like don't make it your hobby. So your job. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me.
So much fun.
I appreciate it. This was just awesome.
I'll come back anytime.
I'm still not over our
It's so funny. I know we need to post it as Linda and Alphaba hanging out.
So with that, everyone, thank you so much. Until next time, Verdicts in Vogue, Cristina Perez.